Hey, it's me again, and One Piece is one of the greatest anime manga ever created. And today I want to talk about it. What to talk about? The anime is going on break. Maybe I could talk about the manga. Season 2, the live action. No, none of that. What I'm going to be talking about is some of the One Piece spin-offs. Cool. So a heads up, I won't be talking about the light novels, so no Ace, Law, or Zoro novels. Maybe another time, but not today. Also, I will stick to ones with 1 to 2 volumes, and yeah, that's about it. Let's get started. Okay, so the first manga we're looking at today is Ace Story, the manga, based on the light novels, with an added recreation of Zoro Mihawk fight. The art was done by Boichi, who is most well known for Dr. Stone, and the story is based on the Ace light novels. It has 2 volumes. Sorry. But today I'm just reading the first one. This manga is also well known for fueling 99% of Ace power scale. So the manga starts off with Ace and this new character named Dos. I'm not sure how to pronounce his name. And he's the narrator of the manga. We get to see what the Spade Pirates did during the short time they were a thing. We got a lot of cool things we never saw in the anime, like Ace actually gaining his devil fruit powers. It's also cool that it's expanding on things, like having an extra scene of Ace talking with Deuce before meeting Shanks. And we also got to see the 5-day long fight between Ace and Jinbei with amazing artwork. Speaking of artwork in general, it looks really good and detailed, so good on you, Boichi. The volume ends with the Spade Pirates getting kidnapped and taken to Whitebeard's ship. Overall, I enjoyed reading this, and it gave Ace more screen time, which is always a good thing. In fact, I think this really should get an adaptation at some point. I mean, we got the One Piece fan letter special, and we're getting a Fishman Island remaster, so why not an Ace special at some point? Or a Marineford one, please. Please, Toei. I don't know who's using hockey. Who is it? Also, the Zoro and Mihawk remix is pretty good. Pretty cool. I don't have much to say about it. I guess it's cool to see Zoro getting one-tapped with new artwork. So our next manga is Shokugeki no Sanji, made by the mangaka behind Food Wars, Yuta Tsuchikata. Sorry if I butchered all of that, by the way. And the only thing I know about that show is that there's cooking and there's a lot of fan service. It's 6 chapters long. Unlike the Ace manga, this isn't canon. So let's just go over the chapters. So chapter 1 starts off in the Baratier, where this food critic that's built like the average Earn a Girlfriend fan is shitting on the food, calling it garbage, and the restaurant's crew doesn't really like this and threatens to beat her up, but Sanji is more bothered by the fact that she didn't finish the food. But before she leaves a bad review, she offers them the chance to make it up to her by serving her another meal. And my boy Sanji makes a rare meal called the tomahawk lobster. It's so good that they gave her a devil fruit called the strip fruit. That even made her skinny, or didn't, because right in the next page she looks completely the same. Obviously, this was just an excuse to show some fan service, and honestly, I don't mind fan service from time to time. She ends up satisfied, and that's the end. So chapter 2 starts off with the Straw Hats undergoing merry. Some castaway shows up, and turns out he's a chef that's having trouble filleting this specific type of salmon that can even explode if handled wrong. So for his daughter's wedding, Sanji takes it up to challenge himself to fillet the salmon. He tries and fails again. During this chapter, we get some cool Zoro and Sanji interactions, showing that despite the rivalry, they still have a mutual respect for each other. In fact, Zoro lets Sanji use the Wado Ichimonji to finally fillet the salmon. So this chapter ends off with the chef providing the salmon for his daughter's wedding, and Sanji has some of the straw hats, some for the straw hats. Sorry, my bad. Just now, when I'm writing this, I realized Luffy and Usopp are nowhere to be seen. So that's a fun fact, I guess. The script is getting pretty long, so I'll just speedrun the other chapters, okay? Chapter 3. Takes place right after Alabasta during the victory banquet. Sanji sneaks off to make a dessert for Nami and Vivi, but while this is happening, the extra chefs coming to help out with the cooks, they can't come because the axles broke. and the cooks have to cook a shit ton of food because of a certain rubber boy. So Sanji just helps out in the kitchen. The other cooks arrive. Sanji gives Vivi a special dessert, makes her blush. Straw Hat's leave. The end. Chapter 4. This chapter takes place during the time skip, and it's about Sanji training for the 99 vital recipes that was mentioned in the anime. He learns some survival cooking, gets stronger, and wins on one of the recipes. That's about it. Chapter 5. This one takes place on Wano, and it's about Sanji competing in a contest versus a soba cook who was scamming poor customers with low quality of food. He ends up winning the contest, and it turns out the guy is a massive Sanji fan. Third chapter ends with Sanji opening his soba stand. Chapter 6. This one actually takes place when Sanji was a little kid working at Zef's restaurant. Sanji is trying to be taken seriously, and he is going to get his big break because one of the restaurant's main customers wants a entree from Sanji. So he cooks up some lamb, but some of the other employees want to mess with him, so he doesn't have his lamb anymore and has to cook this thicker skin mutton, but my goat still cooks it, and the customers enjoy it, and Zef fires the employees that fucked with Sanji. We also get this cool flash forward of Sanji, and he's just now the second in command of the kitchen, and that's where it ends. There's also this super quick bonus of Sanji gooning the mermaids on Fishman Island, and that's about it. So I enjoyed it more than I thought I would. I think this is something you would enjoy if you were a massive Sanji fan or a Food Wars fan. I like how each chapter is its own thing. My favorite was the final one because we got to see more of Sanji as a little kid working at the Baratier and how his relationship with Zef was at that age. I mentioned before on how I wanted the Ace manga adaptation. Well, turns out Oda himself wanted an anime adaptation of this. Yeah, I'll put the screenshot right here. He was a fan of the spin-off, but I never got one because, I don't know, if I had to guess something, I guess a schedule conflict. But overall, I'm a fan of this one. And now, to the last manga for this video. I don't know if this counts or not, but the last entry is Cross Epoch. It's a crossover between One Piece and Dragon Ball, two shows I love very much. It was made in 2006 for Shonen Jump 2007, issues 4 to 5. Now, how did this idea come about? Well, it's kind of a long story, but basically Oda's old editor, Takahiro Habuda, worked with Toriyama for Nekomajin back in 2003, and he pitched the idea to both Oda and Toriyama. They both agreed, and 3 years later, we have Cross Epoch. So how's the story? The story, well, to start off, it's obvious that this takes place in a whole different universe, separate from both shows. During this time, the Straw Hats just left Water 7, and Dragon Ball was obviously post-Buu Saga, so it really is its own thing. The story starts off with the narrator saying Mr. Satan became the king. The plot's pretty simple, with it just being the characters all trying to get to this island, which is pretty much a mini Whole Cake Island. But we get to see some pretty cool character combos. First off is Chopper and Krillin as train conductors. We have Nami and Bulma as space thieves. We got Sanji and Roshi as cops. They're pretty horrible at their job. Vegeta is the captain of his own crew with Trunks, Usopp, and Robin as its members. Zoro and Piccolo are a duo, which is also pretty cool because, fun fact, they're both voiced by Chris Sabat in both their English dubs. And obviously Goku and Luffy. And we get this pretty nice moment of Luffy using them in this. So, you know, pretty nice fan service in my opinion. If you're wondering if there's any action, there is in the form of the Pilaf Paggy ship. Christ, that name kind of sucks. It's the duo of two of my favorites, My Glorious King Buggy the Clown and Pilaf. Goku and Luffy completely destroy the ship, and we see Sanji and Roshi being terrible at their job once more. Next page reveals Mr. Satan did wish to become king, and everyone else is at the island. Then Goku and Luffy arrive, and we get this really good double spread page at the end, showing everyone enjoying the feast. This was a pretty nice fan service, got nothing more to say. I definitely recommend it if you're a fan of both shows. It's only like 19 pages. You can actually get it as part of one of the One Piece box sets. I know I don't own it, but I think it's the third one or something. Yeah, that's about it for this video overall. I enjoyed all the manga talked about in this video. I recommend them all. For the Ace one, I will read the volume 2 on my own time. And yeah, guys, that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed. You know, do all the YouTube stuff, you know, sub, like, share, follow me on Twitter. Yeah, peace.